I'm so glad you're joining me. My name is Barbara Britt. I'm a motivational speaker that will come to you with action steps, not only to motivate you and get you excited and get you believing, but also to give you the steps that will keep on your journey towards your purpose. And then I do consulting with companies, also working on the culture of that business so that people are able to live in their purpose at that office, learning to use their skills, talents, and giftedness so that every day they come in, they know they are a valued person. And then I do professional coaching. Again, being able to walk beside my clients, helping them to go towards their purpose with action steps and accountability. But today what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about your purpose and how to stay in harmony with it. We've already done the first session. This is the second session. And so, again, I always start off with, I'm in gratitude for being able to have this YouTube. I'm in gratitude for having LA here to go and edit and take care of my YouTube and to kind of keep me in my direction on my purpose. See, he's part of that action step that I'm talking about, being intentional, staying in harmony with what I want to do. And that's what you have to do in life. You have to put the right people in place. You have to put the right action steps. You have to put the right thoughts. You have to be intentional so that you can be in harmony with your purpose. So let's get started, and I'll start you off with a quote, and it says, "Beauty is the harmony of purpose and form," and that's about Alvar Aalto. And I want us to think about that. Beauty is the harmony. Beauty is the harmony. So I want you to think about when I'm living my purpose and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm in harmony. That's the beauty. That's the gift that you get. That's that, like the cherry on top of that ice cream sundae. That's that smile that comes on your face, or that warmth that comes into your heart and your soul when you know you're living in your purpose and everything is right at that moment. We all get that. We all get that. But I would like to talk to you today about not only getting that sometimes, but sustaining it. And we do that by staying in harmony. So from last time, let me go over this real quickly. We talked about putting down your purpose. What are you purpose for? What are you hungry for? What gets you up in the morning? What gets you excited? What do you know you were created for? Again, I was lucky. I was one of those people that knew in the 7th grade, but I didn't know that I had to stay in harmony with my purpose. I had to put in the right action steps, the right people. So I stumbled and failed, but I learned on this journey. And so I would like to give you some tips today so that your success journey on purpose goes even faster. So that you're ready to accept it and you've put in place things that are going to get you there. And this quote, I think, says it all today about, harmony and what we're doing. But it says, harmony makes small things grow. Think about that. Harmony. So when you're starting out your purpose, I had a seed of an idea. And I now know that seed, when that seed came, I was fully purposed for that seed. I was fully, resourced with that seed. I had everything in me that I needed to meet that purpose. But at the time, it was just a small little kernel in my head that something I wanted to do. So harmony makes small things grow. Lack of it makes great things decay. And that's by Sallust. Lack of it. So let me say this. Because I have lived in my purpose and I'm still living on it, my purpose keeps growing and growing and growing. My purpose now has limbs on that tree. It has those branches. It has those leaves. Because your purpose grows and develops. So don't just get to where you think your purpose was. Mine was for teaching. I found out mine was went way beyond that, to teach, to coach, to get out and start a business on teaching and coaching and speaking. So it's still my purpose, but now it has legs, it has branches, it can move, it can do great things. So think about allowing that purpose to grow. And it has to do that by using the action steps, the right people, and it's got to be in harmony. So again, from last time, put your purpose anywhere you can. And when you're asked to do something or to think something or to whatever, I want you to think about this. Is that fulfilling my purpose? If it's not, you know what to do. Get rid of it. Now, disclaimer, once again, that does not mean to quit your job right now that's supporting your family, keeping a roof over your head. I had to work tons of different jobs so that I could work on my degree at night so I could meet my purpose, which was to become an educator. But because that job was not maybe something I want to do the rest of my life, but because it afforded me the ability to go to school, to help add to the household income, I was proud to do that, and I tried to do my best when I was there because that job allowed me, it was an action step that allowed me to hit my purpose. So I want you to get some quiet time and really think about your purpose and what it is. So why purpose matters, to maintain it with harmony. Well, let me tell you what, when we don't have purpose, when we don't live on it, we drift. And we have different times that all of us go through where we wonder, well, what do I need to do? I'm just not there. That's all right. Give yourself that quiet time. Give yourself that reflective time to find your purpose again and to be able to add food. And I want you to think about this. For anything to grow, a seed in the ground, a seed in your brain, you have to water, fertilize it, and you have to weed the things out that don't need to be there. You have to put knowledge in. You have to seek out the right people. You have to drink from the tree of learning, from your experiences. You have to do that on a daily basis. And you have to weed out experiences, people, or things that are not in harmony with your purpose. That's what we're talking about today. And this was a statement that I got that I love from an article that Mr. Bailey wrote. And I love this. He said he was at a movie with his children, and it was The Lion King. And he said Simba came out with this sentence, and he said, "It changed my life." And I'm hoping today that from this, that Mr. Bailey's words keep living on. And he says, "Remember who you are. You are more than what you have become." If that doesn't empower you and inspire you, I don't know what does. Remember who you are. I was that 7th grader that knew I wanted to teach, and I knew the why. I just didn't know the how and the what. But you know what? Little by little steps, action steps, and putting the right person. I knew it in the 7th grade, but I really didn't start acting on it until I graduated from high school. I stumbled and I looked around, and I was not as intentional about keeping my purpose and my action steps in harmony with my purpose. So I'm hoping this will help. Remember who you are. Remember who you were created to be. You are more than you have become. And that came from The Lion King, and I read it with Mr. Bailey. He says, that message changed his life. He said he was living in success. I look, I'm living in success, but are you living in significance? There's a difference, right? You can live in success, but if it's not your purpose. Well, I was successful before I got my degree. I was working. I was active in my community. I was doing all the things I need to do, but I truly was not living in my purpose. So I was not living in my significance, what I was created to do. So let's ask yourself just a few things, and we can see if you've got your purpose and if you're living in harmony with it. One of the things, what would you do? And I love this. I've been asked this by John Maxwell and different people that I've trained and learned under. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do? See, I knew my purpose was to be an educator, but I was worried about failing. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Well, I would have taken stronger and faster action steps. I wouldn't have apologized for my dream. I would not have allowed other people to diminish my dream. And remember, your purpose isn't always based on what people outside would say is reality. I was working, I was making money. When I quit and went back to school full time for a year and a half to finish my degree, that meant that was time I didn't make that income. That meant that when I started teaching, it took me 4 or 5 years to make up what I had lost. But really and truly, I hadn't lost anything. I had gained the road and the doorway to my purpose. You know, so, but if I had listened to others, I would have never done that. I can't tell you how many people said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go there. But my purpose was to go there. So what burning desire do you have that you don't have to ask someone else's permission to go on? The next one is, what would I do even if I didn't get paid? Well, it's easy. Just the other day I had a call and it said this little boy and the Boys and Girls Club needed some help with his speech for Youth of the Year. Well, my purpose is to educate. My purpose is to help. That's one thing I'm really good on. I know my skills, my talents, my giftedness. It fit all 3 of those. So what I did when I didn't even receive any money for it was I went out and I taught. And I helped someone that wanted that help. I returned what had been given to me. And then, you know, the last one, what would I do even if no one paid me? And you know, what would I do if I never even get any acknowledgement for it? What would I do? Well, I would still do what I'm doing because it gives me that energy, that feeling of aliveness. I feel like I'm alive. I feel like I'm meeting my purpose. And I can get on to this, or I can get on to a live Facebook, and if nobody listens, I still know that I made that, and something I did is going to encourage or make me go out and be a stronger individual. And someone will come along, they will listen and see, and they're going to take one nugget, they're going to share it with someone else. So, coming alive every day of your life. When you live in purpose, you are alive. Energy, your vibrational frequency in your brain is higher. And that is awesome. You know, I like Dr. Amen says for brain health, he wakes up every morning 100% on. And that's what I'm working for. I'm working, one of my purposes is to work, become 100% on, because only then can I make the difference in the world that I want to make. So, that's my purpose. What's yours? Your purpose is unique to you and just as important as anybody else's purpose. Just as important. So, you know, we all want to know what we need to live in our purpose. What do we need to do? So let's think about that. What do I need to do to live in my purpose? Where are my skills, talents, and giftedness? Write them down. If I can ask 10 people, what are your skills, talents, and giftedness? I can even go to business people and they'll go, well, people, we're almost embarrassed to say what they are. Well, I am really good at helping people give their speech. I'm really good at helping you to find your purpose. I'm good at action steps. I'm good at accountability. I'm good at that. Don't ask me to do math. I can't help you. But we're almost afraid or embarrassed to say what we're good at. Well, let me tell you what. The world needs you, your skills, and your talents and giftedness. I teach soft skills, what people call soft skills. And I called a business one time, they go, well, right now that's not the end thing. We don't care about soft skills. And so my question was this: you don't care how people come into work Monday? Well, not really. You don't care about productivity? Well, yeah, I care about that. You don't care about your business going up and being more financially solid? Well, I care about that. I said, well, then you need to care about your soft skills, because your people are your resource. Know your purpose and the why of it, and that'll help you. You know, make sure that your purpose is intersecting with the world's needs. How can I make my purpose? I was told by this gentleman that what I was doing was archaic and wasn't needed. It's always needed. what I do. What you do is the same thing. Prize your skills, your talents. Don't allow other people to say they have to substantiate who you are. Do not let someone else validate who you are. Stay curious. You know, I hear a word. I love words. Mainly coming because I probably had I had learning disabilities that turned into abilities as I grew up. But words, I love them. I love to speak them. I like to hear them. I like to go on there and say, Suri, what does this word mean? And she gives me a plethora of information and causes me to go to the next word and to the next word. Stay curious. You know, you can't stand up on your purpose and grow without other people. So be curious. Why does someone else do that? Maybe they're the opposite of what you have, but what you need. And together, you could actually give this much out. Examine your motives. Why? What's the why of your purpose? Remember, if it does not live in pure thoughts and honesty, it won't expand. Your purpose has to live in integrity, because if it doesn't, it just dwindles and dries up. Empower your intuition. You know, so many people will say, don't listen to your intuition, or, oh, you know, that's just a girl thing, or I've heard a million different things. But your intuition is what's being fed to you. Listen to it. You know, when we were little, we had intuition, or we had whatever you believe comes to you, what you get your words. Mine is, I believe in God, but you had that, well, you know, this is a good thing, or wow, this is scary, run. Put down that and run. Or we had that. But as we grow older, we push it away. We make fun of it. It's a soft skill, so it doesn't matter, but it does. Okay, and think about it. Intuition doesn't have a rational process. It doesn't have a the thought of me becoming a teacher, that seed that was planted when I was in the 7th grade, the why of it didn't have a rational process. If you think about, well, how you're going to do that when you're graduating second to the lowest in your class? How's that even possible? Even my teachers voiced that on more than one occasion. I will tell you that. But you know what? Go with your intuition anyway. Know that you were purposed to do more than you ever even thought you could do. If the seed is planted and you think you can do it. We just have to put the right action step, people and all around, so we can live our purpose in harmony. Evaluate the core areas in your life. Take time for internal evaluation. Boy, that's important. If you don't take time for internal, and you know what? I'm going to guarantee you this. I could give you money on this. You're not going to like what you see sometimes. I don't. Look at it anyway. Listen, write it down. If that's not who you want to be, if it does not serve that purpose, then say no, thank you. And sometimes that no, thank you is to yourself. You can say no to yourself. You know, think about this. What makes you you? And be proud of it. You don't have to be like the next person to you. You don't have, in fact, the world needs you rich with purpose, with skills and talents and individuality. The world doesn't need just replicas of you running around. We're not going to get anywhere. Next one is so important. Develop high impact activities and habits. High impact. One of the habits that I developed was the habit of gratitude, and it's high impact. I did that in October of 2019, and I've been going strong ever since. It has changed my life. That's a high impact. When I'm living in gratitude, it's hard for me to be mad at someone else. It's hard to have hurt feelings. It's hard to be jealous of someone else, to be envious, to want something someone else. I can't do that. It's hard for me to say something ugly to someone when I stay in gratitude. And it doesn't have to be big and bodacious. It can be, you know, I'm glad to have this opportunity. I'm glad that LA came today and he'll clean this up. And when you see it, it's a clean, pretty project that he's done. I have music. I have pictures of water, which I love. I'm in gratitude for those things. What are you in gratitude for? And then when you're in low impact activities, they drain your life force completely out of you. Stay high impact. Last thing, put it all together. Waking up every morning excited. Wake up, and oh, I can't do that. You don't know my, you know what? Wake up every day excited. Go to bed with gratitude and what you're going to hit tomorrow. Wake up excited that you're going to change one person's life, or you're going to enrich your life with meeting whoever you need. Wake up excited. It's actually a choice. Wake up excited. It's a choice. You know, when you do that, you can make a big difference in not only your life, but someone else's. I just want to tell you this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me today. I hope this has been of value. You do have a purpose. And if you're not for sure what it is yet, sit down. What's your skills, talents, giftedness? What are you hungry for in your stomach, your heart, your soul? What drives you? What excites you? Well, that's your purpose. And then what action steps and people and things am I going to put in there so that my diet is staying in harmony with my purpose? Thank you very much for joining me. This is Barbara Britt, signing off for now. Thank you.